1980s, there was a town called Medford near Boston, where a bank called Depositors Trust had a lot of money. The bank had a very secure vault, with alarms and thick walls. It seemed impossible to rob. But one day, something incredible happened. A group of criminals led by a police officer named Captain Jerry Clemente decided to rob this bank. Jerry was very clever and organized, and he thought he could pull off the perfect crime. He was so confident that he even mocked the authorities. They planned everything carefully. They knew the bank inside out. On Memorial Day weekend in 1980, they went to work. They disabled the bank's alarm system, broke through the vault ceiling, and opened the safes. They stole more than $10 million in cash and valuable items like jewelry. The FBI started investigating, but they had no clues. It seemed like the perfect crime because the robbers were very careful not to leave any evidence behind. The police had no prime suspects, except that they knew it had to be a group of people who knew the bank well. As it turned out, the gang was led by Captain Jerry Clemente, a police officer who was obsessed with money and power. He had a history of corrupt activities, even from the beginning of his career. Over time, he became more and more involved in criminal activities, all while holding down a respectable job in law enforcement. Jerry Clemente was smart, and he had a knack for planning and executing burglaries. He even used stolen goods to furnish his home. But he also had a dark side, involving secret affairs and a double life. He was living a lie, appearing to be a good family man while leading a criminal life. One of his partners in crime was Sergeant Tom Doherty, another corrupt cop who had a reputation for being out of control. Together, they committed various crimes, including stealing a police promotional exam and manipulating who got promoted within police departments. But their biggest heist was the Depositors Trust bank robbery. To pull it off, they needed a specialized team. They recruited an expert at alarms, Bucky Barrett, who helped them disable the bank's alarm system. They meticulously planned the robbery, making dry runs and staking out the bank like professionals. On the night of the heist, they bypassed the alarm, broke into the bank, and drilled through the vault ceiling. It was risky, but they managed to do it without being detected. However, when they finally opened the safe, they were disappointed to find only $60,000 inside. Undeterred, they returned to the bank over the next 2 nights, breaking into 1,000 deposit boxes and emptying the vault of its cash and valuable items. They managed to steal around $2 million, along with diamonds, jewels, and watches. Despite their success, they had to be cautious, knowing that they were police officers involved in a major crime. They split the cash among themselves, but dividing the stolen jewelry was more challenging. Clemente decided to leave the jewelry with one of the gang members, Joe Banks. For a while, it seemed like they had gotten away with the perfect crime. The FBI had no evidence to connect them to the burglary. But then, their criminal empire started falling apart. Tommy Doherty and Joe Banks, both heavy drug users, became paranoid and got into a violent altercation. Tommy shot Joe Banks, and the incident led to the discovery of stolen jewelry and drugs in Joe's car. Joe Banks decided to cooperate with the authorities and spilled the beans about the Depositors Trust heist. This was a significant break in the case. With Joe Banks' testimony and the discovery of the stolen jewelry, the police were finally able to build a case against Jerry Clemente. He was arrested and charged with multiple counts of breaking and entering with intent to commit a felony. During the trial, Barbara Hickey, Jerry's former mistress, provided crucial testimony that implicated him in the heist. She revealed that Jerry had come home covered in dust and dirt during the weekend of the robbery. This testimony, along with other evidence, led to Jerry Clemente's conviction. He received a 30 to 40-year prison sentence, the maximum punishment. After spending a decade behind bars, Jerry Clemente was paroled, but he lost his job and had to fight for his police pension. In the end, the criminal mastermind who believed he was untouchable was brought to justice, serving as a reminder that even the most carefully planned crimes can have consequences. Thank you for joining us in exploring this captivating story. If you enjoyed this and would like to stay updated on the latest news and analysis, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel.